Hey guys, my name is Johan Österlund, and I'm Biohax International's daddy. And basically, um, I've been doing piercing and body modification for my entire life, and I've always had this profound fascination with cybernetics and robots, and just becoming exoskeleton kind of, it's somewhere where those paths crossed. Um, this was all born, and I started with biohacking. Um, all of this was born in a little magic seed. That magic seed right here is the one I put in her, Emma. Me and a good friend heard that you could get a circuit encapsulated in biocompatible material. That was like, wow, got to put it in ourselves right now. So had to wait a week to get it, and as soon as we got it, I sterilized it in an autoclave. I put it in Magnus. The autoclave broke the circuit. I didn't try it before I put it in, so I had to extract it. That's a good thing though. Then I knew how to put it in and take it out. So we did cold sterilization, put another two in, one in him, one in me, and we actually got a read on a phone. So I actually got my body to speak machine. And that was like, oh, this is gonna change the world. That was amazing. So from there on, I've been pursuing, well, basically my favorite is neural interfaces, but we're not there yet. So I'm just gonna talk about the voluntary evolution, upgrading, evolving, and then a little bit science fiction. So the voluntary evolution is basically she chose to become a little bit more. And that's anyone's choice. Being able to speak machine is directly an evolution that you choose. So how many here without an implanted chip can speak machine without actually using a machine? I knew it. Um, so this is what we want to spread to basically everyone, because the more people that use it, the more society uh, starts rethinking and producing everything around the user, which is an important point. That's basically always why we put things there, because any producer will form the hardware around the user, which is good, I hope. Development is basically developing tougher and tougher hardware to put in your body. And once we get used to our body speaking to us instead of we taking measurements and trying to listen to our body, like if you have a cold, if you're feverish, you take your temperature, um, you take blood tests, urine samples, and whatnot. Wouldn't it be better to have our body speaking to us, saying like, hey man, you got a fever. Cool down, stay home from work for a day or two, or the viscosity of your blood is way too low. Either you're drunk or something's not really good. And once we get used to our bodies telling us, instead of us taking measurements, and the drama is way too late. Um, when we get used to our bodies telling us what's up, instead of we trying to take measurements and listening to our bodies, I think this will explode and get into the mainstream in a whole other level. Um, neural neural implants, like neural operative systems, goal. It's a bit in the future, but it's where we're headed. I mean, I I see RoboCop without the robot, just the neural implants. Basically, if I had a HUD display that could project off my retinal and feed my visual cord with information and just everything happening with me just thinking it. I think something and I get the answer. Well, I won't get into more of that because I don't know where it's going yet. So when the Internet of Things becomes the Internet of Us, what are the pros? I could stand here for hours on end and say, this is fucking awesome. This is how do you not want to be connected? How do you not want your body to speak to all the machines around you? Well, everything connected is hackable, right? How many here has hacked something? A device illegally? Chickens. Come on. Now, and this is, of course, something we think about. I'm not into tech, like security, encryption, shit like that. We need it, of course, but there's people better at that. I've been doing gigs with Kaspersky Labs, and they're already aware of Internet of Things becoming the Internet of Us. And when we connect to whatever we connect to, you want to be sure that no one's intercepting that signal or using your bio data for meta information and selling that on. If you're sick or whatever, someone hacks your bio database and knows, oh, shit, insurance companies. You're not getting the insurance, you're sick. So that's up to these guys. They're the specialists, and we're going to keep on working with them because they've been around for a while. Exciting. This is a huge fucking implant. This is like the size of a cigarette package or a deck of cards. Huge. It did, however, provide dancing, blinking green lights, which was awesome. But other than that, it did provide, through Bluetooth, temperature, pulse, and heart, some other frequency as well, and just raw data to a pad. That was the first, basically, ever device to just chunk out shitloads of biodata from a body to a handheld Android. And talking Internet of Things and Internet of Us and technology at all, you know the exponential curve, right? Starts off like this. We're about 1,000 people in Sweden which are chipped. In a decade, it's going to be like that, like any technology. So from 3 years ago, went from that, and now we have, safety first. Really want to underline that. This is the North Light. Way more advanced circuitry, but all it does is blinking lights. So whenever you come in contact with a really strong electromagnetic field, it's going to light up for 10 seconds with five LEDs. It's really sci-fi. And this is just a proof of concept. On here, you can put shitloads of sensors and get sensory input and get it, interpret it, and put it on, well, any given software, basically, that tells you whatever you want to know. This is how much fun it is putting it in. This is Tim Cannon, Grindhouse Wetware, one of the engineers and the one with a big ass lump on his arm. He's super brave. That's me putting it in. And this is how much fun you can have with one. You see that? Is this sci-fi or what? This is really low resolution, but those are two arms. This is the electrical engineer, and that's Tim Cannon from Grindhouse Wetware. And those are the North Lights implanted at Cyborg Messe in Düsseldorf last November, I think. And I mean, all of this is made on a shoestring budget. All of these guys, they have day works, day jobs. They grind 8 hours a day. When they get home, they go to the lab, the Grindhouse Wetware, and they produce things. They don't have any money at all, hence the size of that thing. But still, it's on a proof of concept basis, and we're proving that we can make whatever the fuck we want because the ingenuity is there, the engineers are there, and I mean, with some more money, the circuitry can be just tiny. Samhällsnytta. What's a good word for that? Anyway, good. What's good with this? And society, like general society. Take health department, hospitals, for instance. I know for a fact that administration in hospitals is sick. You got like 20 different logins to 20 different systems that are not integrated. They're just stacked up on one another, falling apart, being crappy. What if you could just boop? That would save you hours every day to provide for sick people. I enjoy upgrading healthy people, but to do good towards heart disease, for instance. Imagine you got a heart disease, your arrhythmia. You feel ill, you have to go to the hospital, wait there 4 hours for a cardiologist. You wait another hour for a recipe. Hour 6, you get your pills. Hour 7, you're home. What if I had a little biotransmitter that transmitted this to a software that's connected to a database? Database pings you like, this is not correct, this is not right. You feel it before the software feels it. So, yeah, this is bad. The phone tells you as well, yeah, we recorded the last 10 minutes of your heart rate. So we're uploading this to your cardiologist. Worst case scenario would be, it takes the cardiologist 30 minutes from patient 1 to looking at your papers or looking at your data, and he pings the closest pharmacy. Okay, so you get a text. Yeah, your heart medicine is already at the pharmacy closest to your home address. Get in a cab, get your meds, take your meds, and this is in 40 minutes. After that, you go to the hospital. Then you get a checkup. So that's killing like 5 or 6 hours. And this is just one. Another one is I talked to a good friend who's a surgeon. They've got 8 like super serious spinal surgeons. So one of them took the time out of his day to record how much time do I spend logging in and out of different systems and journal logs and whatsoever. 55 minutes a day per person. If you're quick, doctors don't do computers. Most of them sit there. Let's say hour and a half for half of them. That's spinal surgeons. They should do surgery on spinal cords, not doing administration, right? So take that time out of their day, save people. Some handicaps would, use your imagination. If I have a hard time moving my arms, for instance, getting my keys from my pocket, locking up my door, or getting my wallet, paying for stuff, BioPay would be awesome. Just fucking, yeah, we got an implant here, help me pay. There, sit. Blind folks, I don't know how do you know the right key from, or, yeah, anyways. So this could do a lot of good with just a tiny chip. So imagine what we could do when we start evolving this entire scene, and also cash free. I'm pro cash, but cash free would be nice. And big point that basically always comes up when we talk about implants, bioinformation, very personal and very intimate information. I mean, if people can and start taking advantage of something as intimate as bioinformation, where do we go then? My point of view would be, it'd be unethical for me not to pursue this type of evolution. And that's basically my standpoint on all of the ethics. And I would love some input from you guys. Zoom in and thank you.